MongoDB does not have restriction on a schema of database. However, you can add a restriction on your schema, but it's not preferable. When I say the schema free, there are some schema, but there is no restriction on adding of column. Let's say in the first row, you add the name and the age. In the second document, you can add the age along with ID and name. In the fourth document, you can reduce or you can increase the number of columns. It's up to the developer. Two terminology, schema free and dynamic schema, are exchanging internally. You can use any one of them. So MongoDB gains popularity because of dynamic schema. This is the one of the powerful features. Okay, so active community. So MongoDB has a active community globally. It means there are lot of ecosystem and there is a community around the MongoDB ecosystem. MongoDB company also providing the lot of training for gaining the popularity of the MongoDB, and the developer can use the MongoDB very effectively. So it has their own active community. MongoDB provides two types of software. One is community edition, which don't require any licensing fee. So you can install the community edition of MongoDB on your respective hardware or software. So you can use a small node of hardware in which you can install the MongoDB as per the OS. So MongoDB provides you can install MongoDB on Linux, on Ubuntu, on Windows, on Fedora, on Red Hat, on all the flavor of OS. If you choose the Enterprise Edition, of course you can choose the Enterprise Edition. For that for using the Enterprise Edition, you have to pay the licensing cost. Of course, you have to pay a few amount of licensing per node. So MongoDB supports the community hardware. You can add a small amount of CPU and RAM in your cluster. That runs smoothly. I never found any issue with 2 core and 6 GB of RAM. In my cluster, 50% of node are with 2 cores of CPU and 6 GB of RAM. And that accept around 2000 of requests per second. Mix and match of read and write. MongoDB has the different client drivers. Of course, if you are a Java programmer or .NET programmer, so you required a driver which supports .NET or Java. If you are the PHP developer, that must require PHP drivers. So there is a huge list of driver which supports MongoDB. When I talk about the ad-hoc query, what do you mean by ad-hoc query? First of all, understand this feature. Ad-hoc query is the query which is not known while designing the structure of the database. It means when you design, we have to put this key in this field. We have to put this value with this key. At that point, you're not required to think about how to pull the data. However, most of the NoSQL database, when you put the data on that point of time, you have to think how to get. But MongoDB accepts the ad hoc query. If you are getting the data and the data size is very huge, of course you have to make the secondary index. The biggest advantage of MongoDB over database is its performance under pressure, especially when handling ad hoc query on the data that are usually updated in real time. MongoDB can retrieve a specific field, a range, location, value, and even respond well to a regular expression query. capped collection. This is one of the important features where you can put the data with a fixed size in a particular collection. When I say the fixed size in a particular collection, it means, let's say, capped collection. Capped collection are fixed size collection that support high throughput operation that insert and retrieve the document based on the insertion order. The capped collections work in a way similar to a circular buffer. Once a collection fit in the allocated space, you have to create a capped collection at the time of creation of collection, or you can change it later point of time. But the size of the collection is always fixed. That can be used as a regular caching sort of things. You have to create the size of the collection and tell the MongoDB engine, hey MongoDB, this is the capped collection and you have to keep only this much amount of data. Whenever it overflow, whenever you insert the new one, it evict the last, the data which you stored earlier. It will be the first one. It works on the basis of first in, first out. So in MongoDB, there are a lot of MongoDB monitoring utility tools for the different admin jobs. When I say the different admin jobs, in the day-to-day basis, you have to take the backup and then store the data, same data in some another node. Or you can take some data in a CSV file format or JSON file format. It means the import and export of the data. You have to look into what are the rate of the query in your server. You can use Mongo stats in your database to know what are the throughput of your database on particular nodes. So different utility tools you can use, which is inbuilt in MongoDB. You can use the MMS, you can use the MongoStat, MongoDump, MongoRestore, MongoTop. There are a lot of tools, admin tools are there. Yeah, this is all about. Thanks for watching. If you like this content, make sure to hit the subscribe button so you will be notified when I post a new video on this MongoDB series. Thank you.